God, it's gonna be good.
It's been a busy
podcast.
week,
Fucking
man.
cool stories. All right, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Six.
Skippity
Blah,
bop,
blah,
scat,
blah,
scat,
blah.
scat, no, my
Blah,
cat,
blah,
scat, skitty, scat.
Wildly uninteresting
Sting.
podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 42
42.
of the Wildly Uninteresting of the Wildly Uninteresting podcast.
Yes.
I am somebody named Adam Ashby. This is somebody named Ian Brock. That's Sarah
Hi, I'm Sarah.
Ashby Brock. And then this is
Just
Danny
Ashby.
Tyler.
Yeah.
That's me.
That's Donnie Taylor.
GT.
What up?
Donnie
Yeah.
Taylor in the house.
Yeah.
Big 3D.
Hey, yeah.
Big
It's,
red trucker coming.
Big red trucker. He's got more nicknames than anyone on the planet.
Yeah. POTUS.
Yeah.
Otis.
POTUS.
And
Yeah.
Franklin.
Even better. How's
Yeah.
everybody doing?
D. Let's introduce D properly because he was one of the founding fathers of Lab Night.
That's right.
Did
Lab
we
Night.
describe Lab Night whenever Couch was on?
No,
Because I feel like we probably didn't.
we've never talked about Lab
So
Night on
Danner
here.
and Couch are founding fathers of Lab Night.
So what's lab night?
We would just get drunk in Couch's basement
Oh, that's lab night.
and like break shit and set shit on fire.
Excessive binge drinking.
Yeah.
It was like it wouldn't be out of place for like there's wine and then there's vodka and then there's some whiskey and then there's some crazy ass like 4-year-old beer.
Were you as drunk as
Yes.
Ingle was at the wedding, Couch's wedding? You remember how drunk he was?
More so.
I don't remember how
No
drunk he
shit.
was.
Yeah,
but
we used to take the Bacardi 151 and make symbols on the table and
Yeah.
light it on fire.
I have pictures of that.
right.
At least one time.
Back before swastikas were all like, oh, you can't do that.
There's
Yeah, so back in 1936,
Yeah, dude. You've been
when we
drinking
started
since-
Lab Night,
Before old Adolf got a hold of
drinking
it.
excessively since the 30s.
fucking ruined it for everybody.
it's Bacardi 151. Is that right? Okay, yeah.
That shit was
That's
nuts.
how we started
That
that
shit's
night.
so
was
terrible.
with the 151.
Yeah. If you can start
Yeah.
a fire with it, you probably shouldn't fucking drink it. That's a fact.
It's a
It's
good,
absurd.
good rule of thumb. However,
Well, then how would I ever consume lighter fluid?
So why'd you
I
get
would
rid
buy
of?
that rule.
Why'd you stop having lab night? What happened to lab night?
I feel like Couch was a bitch.
The
Yeah.
couch was definitely a bitch, but
But plus, I guess eventually it just becomes time to move on from drinking excessively
I guess the
in
last
a basement.
the
He
last
moved.
lab night was when we were at Couches up in the Knobs, and
Yes.
you went missing.
Yeah, because I had my bloody lab coat and only one shoe.
Yeah.
Jesus
And I figured I
Christ.
would stop and ask this dude for directions on how to get back because I left and it was night.
Yeah.
And here I am hours later, the sun's up, and I'm like, I don't know where I am.
Like 5 hours later.
Pardon
it
me,
was
good
ridiculous.
sir. Can you tell me how to get to Couch's house? He just pulled away.
It's awesome. God, what's up with you going out walking while you're drunk and getting lost? You called me one time. I think we had. It was something, and you were fucking lost though, and you were like, "There's gravel," and I was like, "I think I know where you are."
Oh, yeah?
I did though. I totally knew where you
did.
were.
Oh, yes!
Yeah.
That was weird. What was that about?
I don't know. I know
Man.
you were over by the RV place in Clarksville, but
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened that night. I just remember dropping
Man.
you off. You got lost. You said, "I see gravel and
Yes.
grass," and I said, "I know where you are," and I knew.
That's true, because like, I could picture looking at it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's just
It's
because
that-
you all get drunk and lost in the same places, and you're like, I've been there because I fucking remember that shit.
I know what
Yeah.
it's like being lost and loaded there. I got you.
I was there last Thursday.
Yes.
I can definitely honestly say I don't miss getting drunk as shit. That was terrible. You ever been
I-
so drunk you get cold sweats and you think you're gonna die?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Every lab night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every fucking lab night.
Ian's like, what are you talking about?
Sweaty
I don't know what you
skin.
mean.
I haven't
Sweaty
stopped.
mouth.
The first time I threw up from drinking, I was trying to go toe to toe with D.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna stick with him. That was the night, like I was, like my head was in the refrigerator, and you came up. You're like, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing?" Like, I'm just trying to sleep, man.
Oh God.
Unfortunately, I don't remember that night.
God. And then the night you
badass.
slept in glass,
Yeah.
but then nothing happened, and then Couch tried to clean it up, and he like cut his hand. So so good.
Goodness.
So good.
So that's
Whatever.
lab night.
Yeah, that's loud.
One night, Couch is very particular with how he rearranges his DVDs.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So I reorganized them for him.
Yeah.
And then inside of one, I think
Probably
it was just
hated it.
one.
Yeah.
I flipped the little paper thing that's in
the
it. He's
insert.
particular.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he's
like the-
particular about the insert as well.
Yeah.
I flipped one of those too.
I wonder, does he have a little bit of OCD in him? OCD
I think he's
in
just
him?
an asshole.
No, I think it's just whenever it comes to collecting of movies, like we both have our preference. Because I like to have the front image of the movie, the cover image,
Yeah.
facing me when I'm looking at the movie. He's more of like a chapter guy.
I guess.
Yeah.
I like books that way, that they all have to face out so that I know what I'm looking at. I say that
Well,
so
I mean,
that I'm
that
like
is
better than you.
important, yeah.
So they're not DVDs, they're books.
I've had
Because
that
I
thought-
read my
I've had that
information.
thought recently because, like, you know, with the move and everything, I got my closet full of books, and then I've got all my movies set up on my thing, and like I have far more movies than books.
Yeah.
And I was like, because in my head I was impressing this imaginary person. I was like, look, I've watched all of these, but I haven't read all of these.
Yes.
And
buy it all on
That's
Audible.
impressive.
This is my collection of what I could have read.
The knowledge
Look
that
at what
could
I've
be.
been interested in passing.
Damn it.
Books
was-
are hard though, man, to organize and show on a shelf. Dude,
Yeah, but you read like a motherfucker, dude. You read that
used to.
thick ass shit.
yeah, but I mean, most of that's like fantasy crap that
Oh yeah, let's belittle
you have
that.
to read over and over to remember half of it. I mean,
Oh, shit. So you
Great.
you reread books. Like,
Yeah,
because you don't
so you're reading
understand them?
these thick ass books
Well,
multiple times.
I've
Don't
reread
retain
books
them.
because I don't understand them, but those books are like Sarah said, retention. I have to remember the shit because they're like, oh, remember that one time 3 years ago? And I'm like, that's been like 6 years ago, real life.
Real life.
How am I supposed to remember that shit? I've slept.
That's
Right.
Good
what-
thing you put like a bookmark in that exact moment so you can find it.
That's a good way to do it. I could never remember characters. Like, that's why I gave up
Yeah.
on like science fiction and stuff. Because they'd have like 50, like the character list would be insane. Even Harry Potter, I'm like fucking like
Yeah.
10
Don't
main
know who
characters.
these people are.
Don't know who they are.
what-
But then you have to reread and like remember them. I wonder if writing down the characters might help. But
I
that'd be
thought about
stupid.
highlighting the name the first time I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be.
But
a
then
little-
I
you gotta
also
fucking highlight all over your book.
yeah.
Right?
matter.
I don't know. Then it just looks like you're real smart because you're like,
Oh,
you've read
yeah.
it so many times. You're
I'm
taking
studying
notes and stuff.
meticulously.
You
Yeah.
lend somebody Harry Potter and Dumbledore's highlighted like 7 times. They're like, what's your obsession with this guy?
Shit.
What makes him so
I
great?
know he's involved in a conspiracy.
Yeah.
I'm going to figure it out.
Well, over here in my legal pad, I've outlined how I think this is going to happen.
But in reality, you don't remember him at all.
Oh, was he the guy that did this? No.
Oh, do they actually say his name in the book?
I've never
Dumbledore?
read any of those.
Oh, Dumbledore. I was thinking of the other
What you
guy.
think? Oh,
The
Voldemort?
one that,
Okay,
Yeah, the one that
Yeah.
not to be
they
named.
just
or whatever.
describe him and hope everybody else remembers the description.
Yeah. See, I told you I can't remember none
It's
of the
this bearded
characters.
bloke, whatever his name is.
Every time they talk about him, it's the exact same description. So, bearded guy with a long
guy.
cloak and single bird.
Wait, which cloak is it? Is the bird single or is it just like one bird? Who cares about who it's banging?
Awesome.
But
It's a
I like
bird, probably everybody.
to bring attention back to that. I'm glad that I'm not the only one that has to reread shit for no reason. Like,
Yeah.
I hate that I have
For
to
no
do it.
reason. The reason is that you're an idiot.
That's what it is, and I can feel my brain. It's like a car that's trying way too hard to get up a hill, and you can hear it, and you feel it in the pedal. I
Yeah,
feel
dude.
it in my head, like it's just like, oh, and I'm
then
trying to
like-
push through.
You do the little,
Yeah.
you know, and you can feel it just kind of jerking up a little bit.
Like a little, like a 4-cylinder.
Like I've literally gotten a medical bill and read it 7 times and given it to my wife Jess and been like, I don't understand this. She's like, oh, this isn't a bill, it's just a statement. I was like, it says I fucking owe money
Yeah.
right
Bill.
here.
It's
Yes,
telling me
don't
this.
get
My
this.
dear, will you translate?
You're the nurse. Tell me what happened.
Yeah. It's your fucking industry, bitch.
That's how I am every time for our company. Anytime I read government paperwork, I cry
God.
every single time.
Every time, dude. Every
It's-
time.
IRS can suck it. It is the worst
Yeah.
paperwork. I'm like, I don't know it any of this stuff
they
means.
send you like an 80-page brochure just to tell you owe $20.
I know, dude.
Wow.
Shit. Shoot me an email and say, look, we got an email.
I draw you a picture.
Dude, a legit, official
This is $20.
government email that said, you have a license that needs to be renewed on, period. It doesn't say the date. It doesn't say who it's from. The only reason I know it's from the government is because I've gotten an email from them before, and that's it.
Yeah.
We're
It's-
still trying to find period on the calendar. Still can't find
I'm
it.
looking for
Still
it.
looking
It's
for it.
got to be in there. Nope.
Not a day.
I
on
just
there.
assume
Maybe they-
next time I menstruate, I need to pay the bill.
God.
There you go.
Doc, I need you to get me on the good pills. I can't pay a bill yet.
I wonder, can you get out of a bill? Yeah, women can get out of so much by saying, I'm having lady issues. Like, and nobody
I know.
asks any questions. Like,
Well,
they're
when
like,
that
"Oh, okay,
happens,
cool."
they're like, just ask your husband.
The only thing I've ever gotten out of was when I was on drugs. I would use it as an excuse to leave and go buy drugs. I would say, I
Oh,
started
you
my
would-
period and I'm not
Okay.
wearing a pad.
I thought you meant you would use the fact that you were on drugs as an excuse. To,
Nope.
I can't tell you that I'm on drugs, but there's something inside of me.
It's the only time it got me out of anything. I
Oh,
did,
yeah.
however, inevitably lose all of those jobs. So
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know.
think it was an unfair firing. So
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
very
there for
kind
it.
of you.
Have you ever been fired, D?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
No.
You
Really?
ever been
Yeah.
let go?
I guess the closest would be that they shut down a store I managed.
Ah,
Oh, yeah, buyback.
But
Yes.
I stayed with the company, which fuck them. But
Yeah, fuck them.
yeah.
that's
Worked for them
Fucking
3
bitches.
times.
If I were going to use the N word to describe a company, it would be that one.
definitely be that one.
Naughty.
Yes, they're so naughty.
Circuit City was the only job that I've been fired from, and I
Yeah.
cried. But I broke like a card reader with a hammer thing. I broke that, and I fucked a bunch of shit up. And I
Intentionally?
yeah. Well, I
Because
just-
he was fired.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to see
Oh,
if
no,
they could
okay.
withstand the hammer, and they can't.
They cannot.
And that shit was like $800. But it was only when I got fired from it, I cried like a little baby. I was like, ooh. But I've never been. Other than that, I just quit.
I got
Yeah.
fired from buybacks once. The one in Clarksville, I think I got fired from there twice, actually. That's the one I worked at 2 different times. I
least
was
they're
joking,
forgiving, I guess.
right? I was joking with Mike, the manager at the time,
Yeah.
and I said,
Mike Jackson, what up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what up, Mike? You're an asshole for this. But I
He knows
said,
he's an asshole.
yeah. I made a joke of, well, just give me my paycheck and I'll leave and I'm never coming back. It was a joke. Like, I was smiling. We were laughing. No, he sent a message to whoever corporate is or whatever and said, you need to go ahead. She quit. So he gave me my last paycheck and made me leave right then.
What?
I was
Get out.
scheduled to work again. Nope.
You crazy, Mike?
It's another one of those people that take their job way too fucking serious. For
Yeah, being an asshole for no reason.
no reason. People do that, man.
Yeah.
I think the only thing he took seriously was picking up chicks.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So what's
Yeah.
the great Danny do for a living?
Oh, don't make me explain
No,
that, man.
Don't give specifics.
I mean, I don't mind.
You can say like, it's
Do you
gonna
want to go
come-
talk over there real
It's
quick?
eventually going to come back that we're Nazi sympathizers. So like we try to keep specifics out of it. But you can
I'll put
Fucking
it this
talk about
way:
what you
if,
want. I
if
don't
I
care.
meet somebody and somebody asks me that at like a party or because I fucking go to parties all the goddamn time.
party man.
What do you do for work, man?
I say I do statistical analysis for a Fortune 500 company.
Yes. Hell yes. That's the way to do
God.
it, man. That's the way to do it.
Such a douche answer, but it's also like you're our first like legitimate guest now.
But Couch does the same shit. So
Yeah, but he doesn't describe it that way. He's like, oh, I sit at a desk.
Fuck it,
and-
I work at Spectrum.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'm a
that's
slave to
a-
the system.
Awesome way of describing
I
that.
like that.
Yeah.
It's like I used to tell people that I'm studying to be an electrical engineer, but I was only being an electrician, so it's
Yeah.
it's
I'm actually not
far into
studying.
it.
I'm just working in the field so
Just
I
working
can
in
take
the
the
field.
test.
That just makes me
Electrical
think that you're
engineer.
somehow like a janitor that cleans up light.
Cleaning
I
this light
trap
up.
it.
It's like I'm a mechanical engineer or whatever, sanitation. You know what? I don't remember.
I did get cornered by this guy. Like, we were at a concert, right, far away from here, and there was a guy that I knew at the thing, and he's always been kind of an uppity prick, right? And he looked like an uppity prick. Ask her.
He did look like a douche.
Nice guy. He was a nice
Dressed.
guy.
Hey,
But
we're-
anyways, he come up to me
Gingers.
and he said, he was like, how's it been? And I was like, oh, we started a company and electrical company. He was like, oh yeah, well I used to make electric. And I was like, are you trying to one up me? What's going on here, right?
I
Did you
forgot
make
about
it?
that.
Story
Build
topic
a
101.
dam.
Yeah. And he was like, no, I worked at LG&E at the plant. I was a plant manager. And I'm like, so you didn't physically make the electric,
Yeah.
bro. Like, don't come at me this way
He's a fucking wizard.
in front of my
You're
wife.
just a cocksucker with a stupid tie.
Every day I went out there and turned a crank. They created electricity for your house.
Well, you're welcome.
You think the hamsters do it, but there are people that get on that wheel.
I can't believe it, man. Some people just love to do that, though. Stick the knife in. Just that's what I used to do. But he had like this really shiny suit on for some reason. We were at a cowboy
Is it doubled
show.
as a pimp?
I don't know, dude.
No. He
Plus,
doubled
his
as a
wife
douche.
was fucked up.
Dude,
You want
she was
electricity?
awesome.
You want Electra?
And I was like, yo, who's this crazy bitch up here dancing in front of all the people falling down the stairs? He was like, yo, that's my wife.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
Oh, what's up?
you're a winner.
Yeah.
You win. I want to sit back down.
That's my 9-volt bitch.
No, that girl was fucking awesome. She was having a great time, dude. I have never seen someone have a better time than this girl. She was just like getting it and trying to get the whole crowd like to do shit. And I'm like, we were the only ones yelling back at her. It was awesome. I've never seen someone have such a good time.
I don't, but some people like that could turn into a bad thing. I got friends that are like in their 40s or late 40s, early 50s and shit, and they're like really trying to like hang with the crowd and still get drunk as shit and like party and just throw them back. And man, they'll be taking like 3 days off after they're done, boy. It fucking floors them. No, but
Because they don't have access to the good drugs to like recover.
Sorry.
We got a dying one here.
one's already out. She's
You're
gone.
gonna spew in this cup.
Damn it, man. So what happened? What happened to the rap career, man? They tell me you're a rapper.
No, not
Come
not at
on,
all.
man.
We did one track.
One track.
Yeah,
Is it
I
on the
think-
internet?
It used to be.
Yeah, I feel like
I'd
it's
have
out
to,
there somewhere.
I'd have to yell at Andrew Engel and see if he still has a copy. I know he's got one that's like, it cuts off my second verse.
What a.
And it's Wu-Tang style,
It was
so
too
there's no
good.
real chorus.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
I think I have a copy on my hard drive.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
I think he uploaded it to like SoundCloud or something like that.
Oh, I
don't
can
know.
find it, man.
Sounds about right.
I feel like that's when I write music, that's the hardest thing is to like the chorus or the hook. Like I don't do that. I just
Yeah.
continuously write, and I'm like, oh, it'll come together in the end. Like,
It always does, though.
don't you
I have a lot
outsource
to
that
say,
kind of thing?
but none of it's catchy.
Yeah.
That's why we just started recording musical or instrumental music. I can
Yeah.
speak English.
I can
Me.
do this.
I don't talk no good.
I don't talk no good. That's but that's the hardest thing to do is like, and feeling okay about a hook is the worst part because you're like, oh, that sounds good, but in reality, it probably sounds like dog shit.
It's because hooks are weird. A lot of times they're unnecessary.
I think most of the time they are, right?
Well, it all depends on the hook. The hook
Yeah.
can make the song, but at the same time, I won't say most, but a lot of music out there nowadays, it's just fucking pick a fancy word and repeat it 17
Repeat,
times with a
repeat.
full
Hey,
beat
what the
behind
fuck
it.
is that?
Copy and paste, bro. The whole song is a copy and
Redactory,
paste.
redactory.
It's crazy. You think about the dude that come up with Gucci Gang, Lil Pump, and he was never a rapper. He was never in a rapper, wannabe rapper, whatever. He's like Eazy-E,
He's
but
still
worse.
not. People just
I mean, like
him.
fucking Antonio Brown has a hit single out right now. Have you all heard that?
No.
Got a whole lot of money. That's like
That's
the
it?
entire hook, and like 80% of the actual song. Whole lot of money, I got a whole lot of money. It's ridiculous.
Antonio
awesome.
Brown. Is that like a
The
famous
football
thing?
player. Yeah.
Oh, fuck off. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Like I saw the headline for it, but then as I do, I didn't read it.
Oh, there's a YouTube video, man. You gotta check it out.
Is it better than the Super Bowl Shuffle? Does he at least have that going?
Sure.
So you've not seen that?
It's
is what you're
vastly
telling me.
superior.
No, that's writing music is a lot harder than what they fucking put out to be. Like, I mean, actually, but is it okay? Like, can you be a good artist anymore? Can you really put your heart out there and like write a good song that's thoughtful?
I
and
mean,
well,
like, as
like-
an athlete or in general?
no, just as a.
Athlete.
I just feel like everybody's
athletes.
slacking a little bit. And
Yeah.
it's Eminem. We just listened to one. He put out another single, and it's just
needs
like
to
all the
just
crappy
stop.
shit he's been
Because he
doing.
just put out an album.
He needs to
Okay,
stop.
so it just came out, yeah,
But now he's got like a black beard and shit. 'cause
and the
he's
black
a
hair.
pirate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I seen that shit. Yeah.
This is awesome. Antonio Brown throws a bag of dicks at baby mama.
Yeah.
Kylie sent us a bag of dicks. I got the thing up there that says "eat a bag of dicks." They're little gummy
Hell yeah.
wieners,
Gummy wieners.
little gummy weens.
No, that's oh shit, what were we talking about? Oh no,
Can
about
we
Eminem
Oh yeah.
making good music. I don't know.
The rap game.
We think it's because, and I can't say nothing because on the like on YouTube and shit, and his name's always in somebody's mouth about something, you know. But I truly don't feel like I feel like he lost it a long time ago and should have stopped doing. It's like
Because
would
he
we?
was excellent.
Yeah,
He was really, really good.
I don't know.
It's because he hasn't really evolved.
I think that he hasn't kept up with.
I don't know if musical evolution is all within the mind of whoever's listening to it.
The listener.
I mean,
Whoa.
I can see that.
I mean, kind of, yes.
Wait.
But, no, but I was thinking. Well, I was thinking like of brand new because I mean they had their musical evolution and it's undeniable, listener or not. Although I mean I guess you do have to listen to it to make a case for it. But
but I mean, was it change or was it evolution? It's not
Come
always
on.
the same.
it's not the same. Yeah,
what?
I can say that.
Like how did they evolve their genre of music?
Well, they went from like typical pop punk band to like thoughtful dudes.
Hell yeah.
So they
Very well
become more
explained.
lyrical.
yeah, and so you can tell
Yeah.
that
Wrote
they
music
matured.
better.
There it is.
They matured in their music, the instrumental part, and their lyrics. So
Yeah.
I feel like they branched out a bit in terms of the setup of the song. It's not just like chorus, verse,
No, I'm always trying
bridge,
to, you know.
Right.
chorus.
Yeah.
I guess it is still kind of chorus verse, but it's almost like fluidity in
Yeah.
a sense.
It's not like, oh, well, here comes the chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Eminem just didn't stay true to himself. And
Well, he still calls people faggot and murders people.
Yeah, but I think
Isn't that what he always
Yeah,
was?
that's all he
I
was.
think what my complaint is the flow of his the rhythm in which he puts into the music from his lyrics is so choppy, and he tries to fit words in that don't really fit, and the synchronicity is off in every song. It's like it's hard to listen to. Although he's on a beat, it's not the correct beat.
it's the wrong
And it gets
beat,
annoying.
dude.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
but I don't know. I don't know. I haven't put out a bunch of hit records.
On
so
my way, on my way over here, I had my shit on shuffle,
yeah.
and Kevin Gates played, and then like a few songs later, he played again, and I was like, "Hey, Kevin Gates is the only one that's had a repeat song." And then Ryan Adams came on next, and then after Ryan Adams came another Ryan Adams song.
I'll show you.
Yeah, I was
You.
like, well. Oh,
That was
okay.
another good story.
Thank
for
you. I
me.
haven't. Wait, here's another good one, and then
Three for three.
and then we're getting down to business. All right. So, you know that little ghoul ghost thing that I had hanging in my room? Mm-hmm. I put it in my.
Keep snapping and pointing. It helps.
I put it in my bathroom. Like it hangs by my shower now.
Yeah.
But like I was brushing my teeth and like I could see it in the mirror and I forgot that I put it there and it scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh, what is that? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I know what that is.
Badass.
So that was pretty funny.
Yeah, man. So
What?
down to business?
Yeah, down to business.
It's the business
This is our
of
42nd episode.
It is.
4-2.
I wrote it down.
But then we're going to
42nd.
talk about 42, but it's really the answer to the great question of life from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So, D,
Wow.
what does 42 mean to you, you condescending fuck? God.
Well, I mean, it's a milestone, if nothing else, isn't it?
That's right.
Because
Hell
That's
yeah.
right, man.
42 kilometers is a marathon.
Yeah.
And once you
Damn
complete
it.
a marathon, you've
We've
accomplished something.
done it. We can
God
stop.
damn. Let's retire.
Yeah. It's time to retire.
Cut the lights, y'all.
On our $1.60 that we got.
Oh, it's past $1.60
Oh, is
now.
it? Awesome.
I wanna
Holy
point that
shit.
out. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Making more money than all you homeless fucks. If you're listening, give us a call.
I would say though that 42 episodes is pretty decent for people who like put this shit together. What have we been rolling for? What, 6 months now? 7 months, something like that.
I don't know.
And I think we've done really well to stick to we're doing this because most people look at you like, oh, you only got. I think we have like 37 people that watch. I mean, we get more views than that, but.
Subscribers.
Reasonably, since we do one episode a week, you could just divide 42 by 4, and then so we've been at it for about 10 months now,
Oh, there you go.
approximately.
Boom. Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is putting in that effort of doing
Thanks. I
something.
really thought you were gonna yell at me. Like, don't you bring math in my house, motherfucker.
I love math.
but
I actually have a math thing to talk about.
I think bring it like the progress of doing something at all, instead of nothing. Because there's a lot of times where I'm like, I want to start something so bad and I don't fucking do it, and I beat myself up later for it. Who knows what 37 will turn into? Hopefully by next year we have 72, 74,
Yeah.
whatever the times 2 is. I don't know math, so
be 84.
I
yeah.
was thinking it was like 18.
We're at 42. I'm just doubling it.
But I'm glad to get to 42. That's awesome. I'm glad it's a milestone for sure. 50 would be a milestone for sure.
For show, for show.
Yeah,
But
so
again,
what's your math
I think
lady?
69 needs to be a milestone, and we should just have nothing but like porn sounds during it.
Done. We can do that. We'll put it on the
All
button
right, cool, great.
and make it happen.
Yeah,
okay.
that wasn't really a porn sound.
So
Bring
this
it to
is
us, Sarah.
gonna be difficult here. Okay, I don't know
'Cause
how
you
to say
can't
this
read.
dude's name. Diophantine equation. He was a mathematician back in the day. He's
may I
the
look at
Greek
that when
father
you're
of
done?
algebra. What?
May I look at that when you're done, or now?
Diophantine.
Diophantine.
That's exactly. So there's a thing called the Diophantine equation.
Yeah.
And originally, the question is, how can you express every number between 1 and 100 as the sum of 3 cubes? So it would be expressed by x cubed plus y cubed plus z cubed equals k, okay?
Yeah.
So they went through all these numbers to see if it was possible to come up with a solution, and in 2019 they were still having issues with number 33 and 42. So 33 they finally found an answer to in April, actually. And then finally, these two dudes and what they call the Charity Engine, which is a worldwide computer network that borrows like idle computing power essentially from 500,000 computers. They ran all these numbers for 1 million hours, and they were both working.
So they were bored on the
million.
weekend.
Yeah, they were fucking busy for a while. And they had to change the parameters to, God, what were the parameters that they changed it to? Between plus and negative, positive and negative, 99 quadrillion. Okay, is how they ended up finding the answer to 33. They had to change it to quintillion for the 42, and they came up with the answer. I'm not going to say all of them, but I'll tell you one of the numbers. Negative 80 quintillion, 538 quadrillion, 738 billion, 812 million, 75,974 cubed plus. And then there's 2 more of these numbers. They finally found it. That equals
God.
42. Isn't that fucking
What
crazy?
the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be much easier if you just looked at. I'm sure I didn't do a good job of explaining it at all.
I don't know. That's just some wild shit. What?
Yes.
Numbers are ridiculous.
Yes, so quintillion. Didn't know that was a thing.
You do now.
Yeah, now I do.
I don't know, man.
You like that?
Yeah, that was a lot of
Fucking
numbers.
math, dude.
But actually, it's like, I think, going to school, I was ridiculed in elementary because I couldn't get my times tables down, right? I had to do them on my fingers. I got made fun of a lot. So throughout school, I just shut down. Whenever numbers were presented, I was just like, fuck that. I'll get it later when I'm in my room, and then I would just throw the paper away. And
Right,
like,
I don't want to do
this.
this here. Why would I do that?
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not good at math. I don't even understand anything you said after 2. I was just like,
awesome.
cool. But there's a lot of math in my trade, and I can do that well. But it's only because they put it in terms because they deal with a
That you
bunch of idiots.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say a bunch of idiots, but you're dealing with volts and amps and
I can
these
visually
things that
see
you
it.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the difference. Visually seeing it.
I think that's all you have to do with any math is put it into
Relatable
something
terms.
yes,
Yeah.
that you personally understand and you can do it.
You know what that reminds me of? You ever seen that movie Road Trip?
Trip.
Oh, you motherfucker. It's exactly
Yeah,
what.
dude.
They're trying to teach it to the monkey? Or no.
He was trying to learn it for like a semester midterm. and
Midterm,
He,
that's right.
he compared whatever the subject was to WWE wrestling.
Yeah.
That's badass.
And
yeah.
but he was like, you can teach Spanish to a monkey if you put in bananas, I guess. I don't know. But it's always reminded me of that. Like I try to do that in life, but it's hard to do it for yourself. You'd have to have somebody do it for you because I can't relate anything to something I don't know about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It is hard.
It's weird.
If
Yeah.
I were able to teach really well, I could probably teach you math very well because I know you well. And make it relatable.
Yes, best of both worlds.
I did say, this shows you how good my numbers are. Last episode, I think I said 110% 5 or 6 times in a row. Yep.
Yeah.
We counted. I was like, how did they let me keep saying 110%? One time I looked at her and I said 100% of the time, 110% of people will choose this. And she's like, how's that even possible? I was
Yes.
like, I don't know, but it's
It
possible.
seems silly to try to rein you in. Adam, buddy, we need you to start making some sense.
Over
You're
here
gonna-
just
you're gonna have
hype
to
as
slow
fuck.
down.
What am I going to talk about?
It's terrible, man.
That's good shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's 42 mean to you, my love?
I really didn't look up anything for the 42. I didn't really pick anything. So 42 don't mean shit to me other than I don't want to be
Other than
42.
milestone.
Hey.
Woo-hoo.
I just
Yeah.
pictured
The
like 42, and then it goes to like 23, and then it goes to 31. And then I was like, well, what is the significance of 31?
Yeah, what is
And
this?
then I
significance?
stopped.
Oh, fuck. It's awesome. And say 23 is a Jimmy
Baby
World
steps.
song, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. And that Jim Carrey movie.
I don't even know how you
What's it
start
called?
like, looking that shit up.
This?
What?
How would you start looking stuff up for 42? That
42.
you said
Google
related to
search.
42. Like, that
What's the
doesn't-
meaning of 42?
What does
Yeah.
42 mean?
I had to get away from that because it's the answer to everything.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
like pages and pages of that shit. So I started
Yeah.
looking up statistics and stuff. I wanted to know what 42% of people did in different situations.
Hell
Yo,
yeah.
what?
Oh, I was just
What-
going to say, there's some crazy shit with the number 42. I know it has to do a lot with Alice in Wonderland, I believe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of relations to, like, a certain book has 42 pictures in it, and it's throughout the entire story. What else? 42. There's a bunch of biblical shit, but nobody cares about that.
Is 42 divisible by 3, 6, or 9?
369.
3.
3.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's something
Yeah,
I was
it's
looking
14.
up that Tesla said that you can solve every problem in the universe, or everything's solvable by 3, 6, or 9. It has such a significance in math and in the world and physics and and all that. I didn't quite get it because when you're watching a video of people, then they're like, well, see, this is divisible by this. And then if you put this and this together, it'll make this. But then you divide it by that, and then it's 6. And it's like,
right?
well, what made you divide it by this number, this large fucking number? And they don't explain that part of it. So you get lost in the, I guess I'm just not there. You know what I mean?
Well, if they slowed it down and actually showed you, I'm sure it would make sense to you.
Or they're just manipulating bullshit to have you
That's-
think what they want you to
I
think.
swear
Yeah.
to God, that's, we're reading this
Because,
book.
I mean, fucking 11 isn't divisible by 3, 6, or 9.
Nothing.
Right?
Neither is 13. I mean, yeah.
It's, we were...
What now, idiots?
reading a book about how the brain connects. It loves to put the pieces together of like a puzzle, you know, or make correlations or connections, whatever. And people will use that against you in YouTube videos and all that. They'll make things.
Don't get it twisted.
Yeah. It's insane to me that, and they'll make you believe their point, like flat earthers or the people that say dinosaurs weren't real because fossils didn't exist and all that shit.
Because it's not in the Bible.
Yeah. It needs to be in the Bible. Are you a Bible loving man? Or do you go to church? Or are you?
I would probably consider myself an agnostic atheist.
There you go.
As in, everybody's agnostic because we can't really know anything.
Yeah.
And then I think Ricky Gervais said it best. You know, everybody in the world doesn't believe in a lot of gods.
Yeah.
I just don't believe in one additional.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I like that.
Hell yeah, man. I
Ricky
like the
Gervais.
view on it. Lump.
That's Stephen Merchant. Hello.
So,
Carl Pilkington.
the optimum angle for for light to refract through water and form a rainbow is 42 degrees.
Booyah!
Really? That's crazy.
Hell yeah.
Geometry on you.
In a 3 by 3 by
Geometry.
3 cube where numbers 1 through 27 are all written at intersecting points, each column, row, and pillar will all add up to 42. I have
Hit
a
'em.
picture.
Hit him with that TV 42 fact.
I got this
Picture.
picture. I got
The hell?
a picture.
She did a lot more
So then
research.
it's like whenever
I did a lot.
You know, thinking of finding the mushrooms and herbs and shit that you can eat.
Okay.
You know, and like what mixes well together and shit. Like that seems time consuming, but it's practical.
Mm-hmm.
Doing that kind of math shit, it's time consuming and it seems impractical. Like what the fuck? What do humans do?
We
That's-
entertain ourselves till we die.
See, that's some shit. That's
that's it.
someone
die.
who truly just loves doing math and fucking gets it and sits around and does math for fun. That's how you
Yes.
find shit like that out. If I hadn't ever stopped doing math, I would be that type of person. But it's been so long since I've had to actually do like algebra or calculus, I wouldn't know where to fucking start. I'd probably pick it up pretty quickly, but
Not me, man. I'm more of a guy that likes to, I don't like to know the specifics of it or how it works. I just want to fuck around with shit until I make something happen, whether it's right or wrong. I wouldn't be able to recreate anything. You know what I mean? Like write down the steps.
Like you want to know enough to not kill yourself,
Right.
and then you want exploration and discovery on the way.
Yeah, like a childlike wonder. I think
yeah.
putting
You
yourself
like
back in
to-
that naivety.
naivete.
Naivete.
You like to make things work in your own way.
Yeah.
You can make anything work, but it might not be the way that
way.
it works. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's how most people invent shit, too, is doing it a way somebody hasn't done before.
Right. And I think it's you have to stay in that naive mindset, like a childish wonder mindset to get to that point. Because you base everything that you know off the past experience or your future projection
Right.
of your past experiences. So how the hell are you going to like come up with anything new if you're doing it like everybody else? That's why the free energy thing that we always talk about, if you don't open your mind up and stop doing it by the way the book says, then you're never going to get there. You're never going to get there.
Right.
You have to think outside the box.
Look, it's insanity.
How many solar panels would I need to power a TV?
42.
42. 42 cells for sure. Done. I don't know. You could power it with like 2 and 2 batteries. I don't know how long. I'd have to do the math
What could I get
that
through
I'm
a
not going to
movie?
do. No.
Like 2 or 4.
Yeah, 2 or 4 would do it.
God damn it.
I think you can get through a movie, especially nowadays. Everything's so energy efficient now. I think, what is a TV? 1.2 amps. So
maybe 1.8. Yeah,
it's
it's
like
not much.
something small. So you got to think the amp
I thought he was
hours.
being a cocksucker. I was like, oh man, he
I mean, I
actually
could be way
knows.
fucking off, but I've seen like 1.8 on a lot of
Yeah.
electrical.
So during the day, you could run the TV off of it if it's full sunlight outside, off like 2 or 3 panels.
Right.
But you'd have to charge a battery backup for night, and then you just read if it's 18 whatever amp
Well, I
hours.
mean, really, I just want to, it's for my van living,
Yeah.
and I just want to watch a movie at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, you got
Shit,
that.
You could even put like 4 or 5 on top of the van,
On the
just to
van.
be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
To
we
have
looked
yourself
into
covered.
it. They have fold out solar panels, so you
Mm-hmm.
can hide those in the storage in the floor. And then once you park, you can set them out, and they just set there like a cornhole board. You know what I'm talking about? And but during the day you can get
Do you
a
like
lot.
that?
I did. That was good. You just sit them out, like something that you sit out. No. Cornhole board.
You know exactly what it looks like,
A
right?
table or a chair.
Yeah, man. No, that van living's happening, man. We're gonna make that. We're gonna make that a reality. I want to. Why'd I say it like that? Reality. We're gonna for sure buy a van and just fuck around with it. See what we can make out of it.
Yes.
We should make it a missile. A missile.
We should murder the rents and then get the money from that and sell their house and then buy a few vans.
Now it's there
Now it's
for
in
the
there,
whole
yeah.
world to see, so we
Vans.
definitely can't do that. You need to calm the fuck down.
We can just have somebody else do it.
Okay.
Danner.
I love you, Mom and Dad. Don't listen to him.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do that shit.
No, man.
As long as you can protect yourself.
We're gonna
Until we
murder.
figure out how that can't
allegedly.
be proven.
Right?
So
So
I still haven't told them I moved.
I was wondering
fucking
because they
dick.
didn't say anything to us. We were over there the day before, I
Yeah.
think, and they didn't say anything. I was like, I don't think they know.
Well,
I figure I'll tell them once I see them again. But, I mean, unless they pick it up from this,
Yeah.
Well, they
whatever.
might. Yeah.
Hey, if you do pick it up from this, maybe some
Send
chicken
me
noodle
some
soup
money.
also. Yeah. Send money.
Oh shit, that's awesome. But no, I never said anything to them. They didn't bring
Oh.
it up to me, so they definitely don't know.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if it's a part of my insecurities or not, but I don't like my people. I won't tell them anything. We didn't tell them we bought a new truck. I didn't tell them that Sarah come on to the company. None of that because I don't want until I'm making millions and I'm rolling in the cash. I don't
Yeah.
feel like there's anything to
So they're gonna have
Look
to
at
wait
me
3 or
for,
4
you know?
years.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
Great.
Maybe
That's
next
right.
year.
count
Give
it
you an
down, put it
update.
on the goal list. I just want to make an obnoxious goal. What's that thing? Vision board with all obnoxious things on it.
A baby.
Like a stripper and piles of money and a Lamborghini.
So you
Hell
want to be
yeah.
a rapper?
I want to be a rapper. you could tell by my vision board, couldn't you? Check that out.
Hell
I want a
yes.
tiger wolf hybrid.
Secret.
Secret.
I have a very unclear vision, my love.
Yeah, there is no vision.
There's no vision.
There's no vision.
There's
I
very
just want
clear
millions.
vision.
No.
Vision.
That's not a true statement at
Get
all.
ready for action.
Do you want
Hey.
to tell them about Mulder? What?
Crazy thing is
MF
that
Luger.
Danny pumped it 42 times to have a baby, if you were wanting to know. 42 exact strokes.
Baby 42.
41 were in the ass.
That's her name is Baby 42.
Baby 42. If anybody out there wanted to know, that's how many strokes it takes to make a baby.
It's exactly how you do it. 41 in the ass and 1 in the vag.
Yup.
If it doesn't happen after 42, you gotta stop.
Yep.
stop.
Try again later.
Babies aren't for you.
Wait 42 days.
Yeah. We're all going to get obsessed with 42. And then we're all going to die on the 42nd day.
We're going to see 42 in everything from now on.
It's all
Oh,
right.
shit. It's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Ow, shit.
So, Ian,
D.
you claim to be a fan of the X-Files, correct?
Uh-oh.
No.
No.
Whatever.
Well,
No, yeah.
You're a fucking
Yeah,
liar.
He definitely
No,
is.
it's just now I feel challenged. It's like, fuck, if I don't know this, I'm going to feel like an asshole. All right.
how does 42 relate to Fox Mulder?
I don't know. Was he born on April 2nd?
No.
Okay, I don't know.
Oh,
Fuck off.
Aw,
What's your non-working ass button?
it's not working now.
Wait, what was it going to do?
Just wait. Never mind.
The anticipation is killing me.
It
right
sucks.
Yeah.
It's worked. I checked
Oh.
it before y'all came over.
Here's Adam's touch to things. Oh, yeah, the simple act of pushing a button. I know you can't do it, my dear, but let me push it because I'm
Mulder.
God. Anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
Mulder.
You fucking dick.
Lives.
When you put on the ring, that happens. It's like, let me see it.
Yeah.
You're not doing it right.
Yeah,
You
you're
don't-
messing it up.
Don't
Messing
know
it
how
up
to
tonight.
push buttons. I'm such
tell
a
you-
stupid bitch.
Did you take them out and roll them on your leg?
I'll tell you something that really does fuck me up, though. As a man, every time that I go to look for something, right, I'm like, I'll just visually pass it. And I'm like, not in there, right?
Yeah.
And then when she goes to look, I'm like,
Yes.
look, I've already looked in there. Don't worry about it. As a man, I'm like, she's challenging me.
He gets irritated
look.
when I look somewhere he tells
Oh.
me not to.
I was thinking,
Sure enough, every time
always-
she finds it.
well,
where I
no
already
shit.
looked.
That's why I was thinking, like, as a man, I know that I've overlooked it, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, woman, don't find
I need
this.
one.
My tolerance for looking for things or finding anything in our house has gone down. So
Yeah. Sorry,
Sorry.
nothing. Don't.
No.
Nothing.
I made it work, though, bitches.
Yeah,
Good
it's like I'm
job.
not even gonna bother
Sorry.
looking.
I spend like 30 seconds if I can't find it. I'm like, Jess,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Help me.
find it.
I'm not the one that misplaced it to begin with.
It
Right.
was here
What is
3
that?
days ago. You
That's
moved
why
it.
chicks can find it so easily. Dudes aren't
Oh.
overlooking these things.
They're
We
hiding
are.
it.
Don't get me wrong. We are. But chicks are always the ones that are placing things where they need not be.
Well, we put it in the wrong place, Ian.
So now it's our fault that y'all can't fucking find something.
Why is there silverware in the pancake drawer? All right, tell me this Mulder thing.
Would you like to?
Please.
Go for it. Yeah.
He lived in apartment 42.
Damn it.
Yeah. You need to learn some shit. Yo.
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 So on the 42nd.
What's the cigarette smoking man's pen name, you motherfuckers? Uh-huh.
Who are we talking about?
George.
Oh.
Just picked
I don't watch that
Franklin.
stuff.
You were
X-Files.
close.
Yeah.
Raoul Bloodworth.
Totally right. Spot on.
Anyway, no, that's pretty sweet, though.
Yeah, that's
I like
cool.
that.
That's why is the answer to everything.
HPV stands for harpoon badger.
Yes!
We made a button specifically for that fuck up.
Yeah.
Did you watch the video online yet?
Yeah.
It has it just
Oh,
repetitively.
wait, no, I
Shit.
didn't know you did the thing.
Dude,
I
yeah,
thought you
we
meant, like,
made
the
it.
Initial.
We made it like a 2 minute long, just
Yeah.
you repeating Harper,
Oh,
Harper,
wait.
Harper, Harper, Harper.
Okay. Wait, there also needs to be another one. Like, I'll pick up a button, I guess, if it's a
Oh
thing.
no, we got you. Yeah.
Well, because there needs to be the thing where Sarah's like, me a chimichanga, bitch.
Yeah.
I've watched that so many times.
We can record over this one as many times as we want,
Yeah,
actually.
dude, you
I
can.
don't know. We need to have like buttons.
A bunch of
Yeah,
them?
Line
it's like
up.
a row of buttons. We're like, give me
Yeah,
chimichanga, bitch.
So, Harper. When the other night when we were isolating videos or checking the name tags that you pointed out,
Right.
we passed that, dude, and I'm telling you, it brought tears to both of our eyes. We played it I can't tell you how many fucking times in a row.
I
It
would
was
say
beautiful.
a minimum of 30. I
Yeah.
mean, it was over and over and over. We were laughing hysterically, both of us, dude. It was the funniest shit I've ever
Yeah.
heard in my
We
life.
bought the button that night.
You know who's never watched or listened to this show?
Oh god.
Who?
This motherfucker.
Really?
Had to
Coming
come
in
in cold
cold.
turkey.
Dude, that's
Had
awesome.
to.
I dig that.
Couch told me that, and I was like, this son of a bitch. I didn't expect it as much.
Well, I
but
mean, now that I'm a part of it, I'll
Yeah.
You definitely have to watch it. Yeah.
that's the
'cause
only
we're gonna
reason
make
we
a logo.
invited you. I was like, we need
Pending
D to
repeat
talk about the
invite,
show.
you know.
That's right.
That'll
Always.
never
Anytime
happen.
you want.
Always.
Well, that
Doors
just
always
happened.
open.
Solidarity, guys.
Sorry, never again, bitch.
We killed Ian out on it.
Yeah, you are never. Leave now.
Christmas time.
No, we were talking earlier about rereading books, and
Reread.
I got a book
Every
that I
time
bought.
I just think, Riri.
I bought a book about mental issues and how it tells us more about the healthy brain, like schizophrenia, dementia, depression, all that shit. And that's another book that I have to, because the whole book is like medical terminology. I don't know why I bought it. I don't. At this
You would
point,
think the word "the" would be in there eventually.
eventually, man.
Just terminology.
Terminology from top to bottom. In the
I
first,
can
like,
help you with that though.
No
yeah,
comma.
the first
all of
5
it.
chapters are explaining what dementia is, and where they land on the brain and what they communicate with, and the axons that break down and prune out when they whatever. And it's just so mind. I had to buy another book today, or no, the other day came in today because I was tired of fucking not knowing what I was reading. I'd get through like 5 pages and I'm like, fuck, man, I'll pick it up again tomorrow.
You should ask me. I've read so much about medical stuff anymore that I mean, I don't know everything by any means. I'm not a fucking doctor, but I do know some of it.
Well,
I
if
might
you-
be able to help.
If you get a chance, something that was in the book, because it's based on like creative people, artists, and all that, and it was trying to tell you what learning about these fucked up brains will teach you about creative brains, right? And if you ever get a chance, the coolest thing in the world was a schizophrenic guy painted 6 pictures of cats. And it goes like the first one, he's in a normal state, a lucid state. And then progressively, he goes down the line from the 6 photos of different times in his schizophrenia. And by the last one, dude, they are remarkable. You have to fucking take a look at them. All you got to do is schizophrenia cat painting and check it out. It's insane.
Why didn't you just text me this stuff?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I'm having trouble getting through the fucking book, bro.
You think he's thinking about fucking texting you?
He
All the
should
time.
be.
Like we date, bro.
If he's a real friend.
Here we go.
Oh, look, you got it.
Okay, right on.
Tag
Yes, it turns out I've seen those.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's what the fuck that
All right,
is.
cool. I like that. I went to Meijer after work. I hate that place.
Yeah.
But they block off like their fucking movies and stuff, with like carts and whatnot. But this time they use stacks of like thick ass pallets.
Why did
And
you
I
do
had
that?
to have them move that because people are stealing the electronics. We got so
Oh,
many
yeah.
dwellers in there, and they're just stealing shit.
Well,
But I just wanted to get to the goddamn index cards. But it doesn't matter. The important thing is that normally I would
Index
go in
cards.
there and
excuse me, sir. I need the index
I
card.
need the
Can you
index
please move your
cards.
pallet?
You know how mad that guy is. If he made burgers, he'd spit in your food.
Yeah.
fuck you guys.
Lucky he didn't spit in your face.
No, but okay. So you know that magazine, Psychology Today?
Yeah.
Okay. Instead of that, now they have Psychology Now.
Isn't that the
I'm
same?
gonna go to
That's what I
to
thought.
help women now because
But
to
like
help
at
women
the top
now.
of it, it said new.
New.
Wow.
So like, what? Why? I mean, is it Psychology Today trying to reinvent itself?
Oh yeah,
Rebranding,
probably.
man. They gotta
Interesting.
sell
Rebranding.
those magazines.
Yeah.
I need to know.
Maybe
I
it's
feel like I'm the
like-
only one that buys them, and like the last 8 issues I've bought, I haven't read.
I'll read them.
It's like that gym membership that you forgot
Yeah.
about.
Yes.
Just keep paying, yeah.
That's something we pulled
I
out.
use the
all
website a lot.
all the shit that we the magazines that I would buy, like the Ink magazines and Men's Health, back when I was like into health and all that.
Back when I was a man.
Back when I was a man, and I
The
wanted.
shit I
What
sent
is
you
it
in
about it? I
prison.
wanted to keep it. I don't know what that is about. I love magazines. I want to keep. What is that intention to keep those? Why do you want to hang on to the magazines? They're so interesting.
I don't know.
I threw away 2 issues of GQ the other day.
It killed you, didn't it?
I did.
It did. It took a piece of you.
It was just part of the decor.
Damn it.
I was like, if I ever want to feel classy, I can just point to those.
Yeah.
And now I can't.
And I-
Now you lost your class. You threw it away.
Yeah.
It's in
Now
the
I just
trash.
live in squalor. I hope my Paul Thomas Anderson movies are classy enough.
They're not.
we have a.
That
on,
baby
man.
coffin is though.
Yeah, it is.
This is the first time I ever seen a baby coffin. Was at the house. I don't
Nah.
think, man. That's why wouldn't you just throw it in the backyard if it died? Why would you put it in a casket? That seems like an expensive bill for a newborn.
Backyard if it died.
It's
Why would
actually
you-
illegal in most states.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's what I asked her. Like
let's move to one where it's not.
if a husband or a wife dies, like you can't put them in the backyard. Like
No.
you can't do that.
Yeah,
you
it's against the
have
law.
to have either cremated or.
Hey,
buried,
now I
right?
know your child just died, but we also have to put this into the economic system.
And I don't
Yeah.
know the exact numbers, but in Indiana, you actually have to have a layer of concrete surrounding the coffin.
What? So they have
Really?
like a.
Man,
You know
That's
what's
fucked up.
we were talking about this out on Dixie Highway. There's this huge fucking cemetery, right?
Yeah.
they force you to either get cremated or be put in. What is, as humans, what is the significance of that? Because I can tell you 5 of my family members very close to him, even the buddy that died in my lap, I haven't went to go see him and he's like buried in the ground, right? So at what point do they dig him up and throw him away? Like, come on.
Oh no, they'll just they'll compound it. They'll push them down further into the earth and just bury people on top.
On top?
Yeah.
I guess how many generations have to pass before they do that?
It'd have to be a lot.
How easy
think?
is it to just push them further down?
I don't know, man.
Well, they just break the concrete layer and probably
Oh.
combine and then build on top of it. But
Okay.
it would take a lot because that industry can make so much fucking money. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Well, see,
It's
so they
nuts.
just keep buying up land and making bigger
Is that what they do?
lots. Yeah.
See, because that's what I asked her. Is
Damn
like,
big
at a certain
cemetery.
point, does the cemetery start losing money because like they sold all their plots, all their the mausoleum spots? Like, what do they
Yeah.
do at this point?
Well, they can make the mausoleum bigger. They can start doing new shit. Like I always told my wife that when I died, I wanted to be put into like this little egg cocoon, and I wanted to be the nutrients that a new tree would be fed off of.
Yes,
hell yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
But that's fucking expensive.
Well,
Is it really?
Oh,
don't-
what the hell?
It's a couple grand. Like
hopefully,
$5,000.
if you don't die before too long, like if you get 20, 30 more years, it might go down cheaper. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
because
no.
it's old.
What I'm gonna do, I swear, like if I ever get that fateful terminally ill diagnosis or whatever,
Yeah.
one, I'm divorcing my wife so they can't come after her for money.
For money.
Aw.
Yeah.
I'm selling every
I thought you
possession
were like,
that I
I'm done
have,
with you,
Yeah.
bitch.
and then I am gonna donate myself to a local university, U of L.
Yep.
And they'll take my body, and it'll be $500, and they'll cremate me.
Hell yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Oh, that's
reasonable.
fucking awesome.
You can take you can take any kind of body to the medical center at U of L.
U of L.
For $500, they'll cremate.
I know a guy.
Yeah.
He's still alive.
That's something I told her I'd love it, and it was always my thing. I wanted to be buried in one of those, like you said, the little cocoon,
Yeah.
but be underneath an apple tree. That way, when I'm the nutrients for the apple tree, somebody eats that apple, then whoever that somebody is, hopefully a guy, I end up in his nutsack.
Get all
come
up in
back
him.
out. Yeah. 2 decades later, hey, I'm back,
That's
motherfuckers.
That's it.
Got my carbon nut up in you.
Break me down and smoke me, bro. I'm jacked about it. That's funny you put it out that way, but the thing is though, like she couldn't develop the same thing. Say she developed the same exact product, right? And she couldn't bury me in the back. I think that's truly unfair. If you own the property, it's truly unfair that we have to spend $6,000-$7,000. I think it's more at this point.
Yeah.
How do you go from being an apple to being jizz?
Oh, because after they eat the apple, the molecules which I'm made of that fed the nutrients into the tree, my essence is in the apple. The dude eats the apple. I
right.
break down into his bloodstream to the nutsack. I become a sperm. Dude ejaculates in the woman.
Reborn.
Yeah, reborn,
Yes.
bro.
So you got to dance your way down there.
Yeah, fucking, that's how I become another person,
Don't
dude.
question
Don't
my
question.
man,
No,
dude.
I want to know the science behind it.
Oh,
I'm a sperm.
I don't know.
A big problem is that we don't actually own the land. We just rent it from the government.
so even when you technically own it, you're paying taxes that they can actually take back.
Oh, yeah.
I
Eminent
wa-
domain, man. It's a bitch.
Yeah. Well, I've watched a guy, he had 4 plots of land, 11 acres altogether, and LG&E just fucking ran a pipeline right up through the back of it, ruined 3 or 4 acres of his land, and they were like, well, you're going to have to deal with it. Like, what?
It creates a better good for society.
Yeah, they could just
They,
run through it.
they can pull that shit and be like, well, we're going to take half your yard.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, they tried to create. Well, y'all know my neighborhood. That that big farm cow land that's still back there. Nobody's built on it. It's still owned by the family, and they got an old sewer pump on like one of the edges. They bought 3 miles in of it. They like stripped it down because they had to replace a substation. Filled it with concrete, and then they tried to create a family fun walk path. to the stupidest, smallest park you've ever seen in your life.
What?
And they weren't going to light the walk path.
Nope.
They
Oh.
weren't going to fence in the walk
talk
path.
about
And it was
rape.
going to go, it was going to border.
It's a rape area. Yeah.
It was going to border my backyard.
Oh.
And that fence right now is
Front
just
row
an,
seat to the rape corner.
Yeah, for real.
that fence right now is just an old school farm barbed wire fence. It's not like, wood or,
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
nuts.
and they'll probably wind up getting to do it just because Clarksville's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. No shit.
And then you'll have to build a different fence so people don't get hurt, or it's your fault.
Yep.
Well, that's what I
You
always
just shoot him with a
complain about.
BB gun. Keep off my yard.
Get off my land.
When it comes down to it, humans are the only thing that have to be on this planet and have to pay until the day you die to be on this planet. Like you,
Yeah,
no
have
matter,
to
even if
live.
you're a bum, you eventually have to pay something. Like you have to pay for
You
something.
think school is free for fish?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Fuck yeah. No, and I know that we don't have to fight to survive and all
Yeah.
that shit,
Yeah.
but in the same sense, like whose land is it to begin with to charge you for? Like technically, it's nobody's, and if you say it's God's land, well, how are you put up there with God? I just don't get it. I don't get how you can be charged for the land in which you end up paying for, 12 times over before the
It's
end of your lifetime.
protection money.
Protection.
Yeah. This is your land, but only because we're not going to come in as the government and just take it from you. Here, you can call this yours.
I say
For
fucking
a
try and
price.
take it and see how that goes.
Well, then you
That's
end
a
up
good one. Try
dead
to
with
take
like
it.
a few injured government employees
Few
on your
injured.
former land.
Do you all have acreage out where you live? Or do you?
Not really.
Are you on like a one acre plot or?
Yeah, it's probably less than 1 acre, like 3/4. But
Got a pretty sweet bridge.
Nice bridge. That's what when we moved, man, we wanted like 5 acres and shit, and the 2 acres we got is enough to take care of. Fuck having 5 and shit.
Yeah.
If I had a choice, I would either do 2 or like 500 acres that I
Yeah.
didn't have to take care of, and I can go, run butt naked and get lost on.
Cut a dollar sign in the grass.
Oh yeah,
Hell yeah.
bro. Cut trees down and write a message for the helicopters that come by looking for marijuana.
Yes.
I would love to have
Suck my
hundreds and just ride 4-wheelers all over the place. I would never do anything else.
No, they do
Yeah.
it.
It would be great.
All I do is ride 4-wheelers.
That's
It's great.
Jordan Peterson says that life is in essence not fair from the very beginning. It can never be fair, and it's not its right to be fair. So you just have to live inside of it and make the best out of a worse situation.
See, I feel like it's
Thank you.
fair in
Thank you.
so far as it's impartial. It's
so it doesn't
fair
care who
because
you are.
it's not like playing favorites, but I
Right.
mean, I guess maybe it is because genetics and shit.
Yeah,
Well,
Hey, you popped out smart and hot. What's that about?
yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, D?
I don't know. I mean, is fair really anything but a human concept?
Ooh, shit.
It's clearly existent in reality of its own accord. We
How?
just happen
I mean,
to
but
pluck
is
it
it-
out.
What, you're born as a zebra and I'm born as a lion and it's fair
In what
Yeah,
sense?
because my nature is to hunt you and eat you?
do you think
Yes.
animals are like, that's so unfair that he's a lion? I'm a
Well,
fucking zebra.
Yeah.
Maybe the zebra is upset, or maybe the lion's upset that he's not a zebra. Maybe he wants to be eaten. Maybe he wants to provide nourishment, and he's like, "Well, fuck, I'm a fucking
Well, see-
predator."
See, I'm
Like,
thinking fair in terms of just being impartial, like not playing favorites. So it's like, okay, the luck of the draw, there's kind of, oh, okay, you get this, but I wanted that. It doesn't matter. And instead of giving like preferential treatment to a guy, I wanted to be a zebra. I wanted to be a gazelle or whatever. It's just, now you're this. That's how it is.
That kind of preludes that there's some essence or soul out there that gets to choose what they want to be.
Yeah, what's
There would have to be.
that's? I do
Choices
like what
don't
you're.
get made by nothing.
What you're saying though, like it's our perception that tells you if it's good,
Yeah.
bad, or whatever. We were watching that Wim Hof, WIMHOF, Wim Hof.
were we?
Yeah, no, I
Hasselhoff?
was.
Oh,
And,
Hasselhoff?
And his way of looking at it,
Yes.
like, it's all perception.
Oh.
So we've always talked about it, but he puts it into like his physical being. Is he can change his blood pressure, he can change his body temperature by his mind only. Like, he perceives himself as warm, and then he is, because he has perceived and taught his brain how to only believe what he instills into his brain. So it's all about perception when you break it down. So lucky, unlucky, good, bad, terrible situation. You know what I mean? It all plays in that. Like, how do you feel about the situation? Like yesterday, I was in a terrible fucking mood. Everything was horrible and breaking apart. Well, today it felt 10 times better. But if I could physically, like, hold the preference, what did I just call it? The my perception. If I could physically hold it and then change it like a dial, that'd be awesome. Like, then nothing is unlucky, and fuck you if I'm ugly. Who cares?
Yeah. I agree that I think fair is completely, it's a human concept. It's like time. It's not a thing that fucking exists.
Danny, do you feel like you got a lucky
time,
hand?
it's just a matter of the results of decay.
I mean, luck is one of those things that I know mathematically doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But it's still an emotion that I can feel.
Yeah.
And a perception that I can generate. So, I mean, I kind of understand it, and I understand that we can have it, but it's a conflict, because I know it's all about the fucking spectrum you're looking at. If you're looking at a single day set, today was lucky. But if you look at fucking a millennia,
Right.
that was
You
one
lucked
day of good things that happened
Right.
that even out by the other days that bad things didn't happen. So
Yeah, I can. After you, if you're looking at the spectrum of a millennia, like you said, and you're looking at World War II or the Cold War, it's like did pretty good. Like, they were
Right.
trying times, and you didn't have to go through that. Like,
yeah.
they said however old the world is, like 5 billion, or it always changes. So 400 billion, 5 billion, whatever. And you were lucky enough to be in the 21st century or the 20th century, whatever. Like, you're that lucky. So shut the fuck up and just
Right.
like go to work or do whatever. Do you feel like you got a lucky hand, Sarah?
Yeah.
Like, from birth, not even like now, but from
Yeah.
birth.
Hell yeah.
What about you?
Are you kidding me? I'm
Oh.
a white
Yeah,
girl
sure.
who lives in the United States. I have higher education. I'm alive. I have generally a good attitude. Like, I can cook, which is awesome.
Definitely helpful.
Yeah.
Ian,
Have
do you
a
feel-
beautiful house, wonderful
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
feel like you, from birth, like from the very beginning, you feel like you got a good hand?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice, man.
I mean, there's some garbage in there, but yeah, for
I
the
think
most part.
I think we all have garbage, though, and that goes back to perception. Was it like, and somebody else probably has it 10 times worse. So
I've had a shit ton of garbage, but it's helped me tremendously in all other areas of my life. So
we had this strong conversation today about how we feel that most people suffering and pain, like think about all the people you know, right? And then look at the problems that they presented to you that are going on in their life. Most of it, I'm not going to say 110% of it, but most of it, bro, is self-induced. Like, it is self-induced. No matter how you want to spin it or make it sound like it's somebody else's deal, I think about all the people in my life, even me. Like, I know what I self-induce every single day, and I'm
Right.
like, well, I still do it. So no sense in complaining about it.
I'll be damned if I'm going to change it now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Self-induced suffering, man, is a tough thing to get away from.
yeah, some people I truly believe just need it because they need something going on
blame
in their
it on.
lives. Yeah, they need that.
I have nothing
Or-
else to talk about. May as well suffer.
Hell yes. Yeah.
Well, they can't see the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
I mean, it's perception. They get so into it. Deep down in the hole, all they see is the darkness. They don't know that, hey, 30 feet that way and around the corner to the right, you can see your way out.
Right.
But
Yeah, just fucking walk
Yeah.
So if you
forward,
can see the
please.
full picture, it's just like a rainbow of color and then just like a patch of dark.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this is
But that-
life.
that patch is 50 miles wide, and you're
Yeah.
stuck in the fucking middle of it. You don't know what to
Walk
do.
20 minutes
Yeah.
to the end to go.
Right.
People are real ridiculous. They're just silly, I think, is the best word to describe
silly.
people.
Well,
They're
I mean,
fucking silly.
It's
Fucking
silly at
silly.
one point,
Yeah.
but at the same time, when you're fucking in it,
When
Yeah.
you're in
You're-
it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
you're almost manic.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's life altering at that time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for
It-
sure.
It's just trying to find a way to where you can step back and look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's hard.
That's yesterday. I went back to that. I haven't felt like that in a long time. Like I have good days and bad days,
Yeah.
and then sometimes I have dark days where I go like 3 days and I have to like work my way out of it. But dude, it was I couldn't do anything. I went to go get a cup of coffee. I haven't had a cup of coffee in fucking forever. But I was so down that even my energy was like nope. Like I didn't move off the couch. I was so depressed.
He said it took like everything in him to form words. He's like, I don't even want to fucking
I don't
do
want
that.
to talk. And can you imagine feeling like that every fucking day? Can you imagine that?
I think that
Get a lot of
Go ahead,
thinking done.
I was gonna say, like, even being able to like take a step back and look at and see and get some perspective about it doesn't always help
Yeah.
because then you have to have the energy and effort and want to take steps to get yourself out of that.
And you don't have
And
that
sometimes,
in you.
it takes every single
So
last
fuck it,
ounce.
it's not worth the effort.
I'll just fucking say like this. It's better for now.
So we broke down couch the last time he was here. Do you have any insecurities?
Oh yeah.
You deal with those?
How do they make you
mean,
feel?
How do you feel about it?
Insecure.
Yeah.
If you had to
Quite
put out
uncomfortable.
like what's your biggest insecurity? What would that be? Like off the top, no hose bars, 110%,
Jesus.
Insecurity.
110%.
110%.
I mean, it's hard to in the moment separate insecurity and fear.
Ooh, yep.
But I guess the longest running insecurity
Yeah.
would be
Are you black
Sel-
enough?
Yes. It's awesome. I love
would probably be like self body image.
Yeah.
For me, I know that's been something that I've dealt with my entire life.
Yeah.
And then, in addition to that, would be something in relation to the fear of singleness or aloneness,
Yeah.
because that's probably my biggest fear is that I will be left alone in some manner, some form, and that's how I will end. Even though
Ooh, that's a rough one.
Like comfortably or like
no,
in an
no,
abyss?
like
Yeah.
like you're by yourself. You've lost all rational thought. You don't know who you are.
All right.
And you're just alone.
Yeah.
There's no rational thought to think that I'm in a hole. It's just I don't know where I am. I don't know
sounds
who I
dreadful.
am. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of like a dementia at the end, or not even that, because
Yeah.
they still see the day to day. Like they still live in the present. Pretty much, they just don't
Yeah.
know what's going on.
Right.
Yeah, man, that I didn't even think about that one. That's the new way to like interpret alone. Like most people are like, alone is not with you,
Right.
Or like hanging out with you, or you. Like it's not even that. It's you don't even have yourself to be. That's crazy.
Yeah. Who the fuck am
I mean, a lot of people say that a lot of culture is based off our fears and our general hysteria. That's why a lot of superheroes were born of radiation because we had such the fear of atomic energy.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's the undead, the loss of identity
I? Yeah.
that we fear. So it ties in with that shit.
That's Jordan Peterson. That's he bases a lot off of fear. Like we base so much of what we do during the day off fear, or what we don't do during the day off of fear. Like we never move forward because of fear. It's probably if you had to ask everybody and like put it together, I guarantee you that's one of everybody's biggest is fear
Yeah.
of something.
Well, I mean, it's definitely a negative in some ways, but I know I was listening to something the other day where fear is actually the only positive way where this person said a procrastinator can accomplish things.
Hell yes.
They keep putting
Ooh.
shit off. They and in a menial task, a paper due, a task that needs to be done, they have that fear of that deadline.
Yeah.
But what happens in their normal day-to-day life is they don't have a deadline.
Right.
So they put off shit. They don't do it.
Yeah.
And without that fear, they don't accomplish anything.
Damn it.
I
Yeah.
pictured a pile of garbage, like you get your garbage bag in your house, and you take it out because you have the fear that a chupacabra is going to break in and eat it.
Nobody
Yes.
enters my house without
Yeah.
my permission.
That can go
today,
back to your naivete. When you're a child, sometimes you need that motivation when you're a kid because you don't know.
Yeah.
You better fucking go to bed.
Yeah.
You better do it.
And then
Why?
bam, fear is a
Yeah.
positive and everybody wins.
Well, no, I mean, you create fear in a
it's
mass.
a positive, D.
You create fear in the public eye, and you become Richard Nixon or Donald Trump, and
And then you run, the country.
You become president. So,
Yeah.
That's great.
yeah, it is a
Hated by
positive.
many.
Never mind, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
That's a
You said what
positive
you said,
Trump,
dude.
No, that's something that we have talked about. I've been trying to switch up, like reading the books. I never thought I'd be, I have books, but I buy them because I think the covers look awesome. Like, I'm like, one day I'll fucking do this.
Okay.
But when it comes
luck.
down to it, man, I try to
Don't
change
fall.
that up.
Some water in the back.
And I've tried to change the reading up and
Thanks,
turn the TV off more, create a morning routine. And then the fear of being the same person in a year or 2 years or whatever, because I have a lot of work to do. And I realized that after the wreck and after I hurt myself at work, like, dude, there's a lot of work that needs to be done to this point. And I fear being the same person 2 years from now.
Right.
So, but the hardest thing is like writing those goals out of the new routine and doing it because your body hates discomfort. Your mind hates discomfort.
There ice in that?
Well, and that's
Put some ice on it.
damn, dude. I think that's the biggest difference. Hang on.
The biggest difference, Sarah, I'm going to...
Differences are big. And some are bigger than others.
Shit.
And I even starting it out as the biggest difference isn't the right way for me to start the sentence. I think that's what sets people apart, I guess, puts them into different categories, is that fear and what they do with it, because it can be debilitating, but it can also be the thing that drives you to do better, to be better. And
Fear, yeah.
that's when we started the company. We had so many people tell us not to do it because of a fucking list of shit.
Their fear.
Of their
Fear,
fears.
yeah.
And we were just talking about it the other day. We've been so incredibly blessed. And I asked him, do you think that this is how it is? Or do you think we're just blessed? Because, like, the contacts we've made, like, it hasn't been terribly difficult. Everyone made it seem like it was going to be the hardest thing in the fucking world to do. And I just don't, we don't let the fear stop us, which they were other people's fears. We didn't
Yeah.
take them as our own.
We figure it's like this. If all the fears came true, then we can always go back to being the same thing that we came from. I can go back to the company, so can, she. But so many people let those fear, they can be a motivator. You're right. Mm-hmm. But I think it goes back to what you said about perspective. Like, it's our perspective that we're blessed and lucky. So that's what happens instead of, perceiving all the bad. And, I'm sure we could find bad in whatever's happened thus far in the company. But
The government paperwork.
the government paperwork.
That's the
For
fucking
sure.
bad. 110%. That's the bad.
No, but I can see it's scary. And a lot of those people too, and then after, if you add a family member, like a child, people, can you imagine that fear? Like, you have that. I wouldn't know what that's like. But say you change your daily routine or something, I'm sure that your daughter plays a huge role in that decision.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's part of the contagiousness. Contagiousness?
Yeah.
Contagion?
Contagionity.
That's how fear spreads.
Yes.
It's additional factors that get into your life when you find somebody that you want to make part of your life, husband, partner, whatever. And then you have an addition to your family. I mean, it could be a fucking animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you consider, hey, I need to make this change. I need to move across country. How's it going to impact them?
Hell yeah.
Right.
My job is eliminating my position. Do I move? Do I, you know, that's going to be a life-altering decision, and that fear can definitely impact you one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
I think
It's hard.
yours too. Like, don't. If it was me, I think if I was in the same position, I don't know this, but I would at a certain point stop thinking about you altogether, and then the fear is really just solely based on like Sarah and the child, you know, or Jessica and the child.
You with the family, you definitely start thinking about other people more than yourself.
you.
It just naturally happens.
Is it worth it?
Yes.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Every day you can go through moments of, God, fuck this. Why am I doing this? I could just be sitting on the couch and fucking enjoying shows that I want to watch, or you know, fiddling with shit that I want to do. But it's so rewarding to have a child come up to you with unconditional love, for a better lack of a better term, and just laugh.
Did you want a kid
There's no
before
reason.
you had a kid? Was it something that in your head you were like, I'm having a child at some point?
It wasn't something that I was like, oh, I gotta do this. Oh fuck, man, my
Yeah,
life's
I
not
can't
complete if I don't
wait.
fucking have a kid.
Yeah.
But it was something that I grew to with being in a relationship that was stable.
Okay.
Because I can definitely say that it took, 2002. It's been almost 18 years.
Yeah.
Me and Jess have been together.
Damn it,
Good God.
Yeah.
that's a lot. How many did you say? 8?
18.
18. I thought that's what came out of your mouth. In 18 years. So
Yeah.
what? End of high school or while you
Yeah,
were? in
we
high
were
school?
we were technically high school sweethearts.
Damn, man.
You know,
That's
we
rare.
had a break in there, about a year, maybe a little bit more, and we got married a while back.
Is this podcast boring you? No, that's the high school sweetheart thing. We took a break after I got out of prison because I was like, I didn't know, like being with her. I was like, I've never been sober. I've never been
Prison yard sweethearts.
Yeah.
I've never been any of that. So I was like, yo, I'm going to take a week. Like, I'm just going to go
Yeah.
figure this out, dude. And before the week was even over, I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever fucking done in my life is take a break from this.
Yeah.
But luckily, I had somebody who truly understood what I was saying. I was like, I need that. I've never been me without somebody or, you know, without you especially. And but it took, you know, getting away from that. And we grew together. Like we were, you know, less than nothing before we met. And it's like that growing together. So the high school sweetheart, you have to be willing to grow together. That's
Oh,
a rough
absolutely.
one.
And it's that evolution of thinking of someone before you, because you have to be able to take that step back and be like, this isn't my moment.
Right.
This is somewhere where she needs to do something or prove something or just fucking be who she is without me hindering it.
Right.
And it's not that, you know, necessarily my presence would fuck it up. It's just, it'll be different if I do this, or it'll be different if I don't do this. So,
Right.
and Ian sits there as the single man at the table.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Fuck thinking about other people.
All about me, bitches.
That's but that's what I'm saying though. You wouldn't want to solely that aloneness or that oneness with yourself for because you have to sacrifice. So you have to find somebody that's really lives up. You know how long it took. I was blessed enough to find Sarah at the time I needed to find her, but they it doesn't come. Like I wish I would have waited. I wish I never got married once already. You know, I wish she was the first one because that's what I was working up to. You know. But it don't matter. 40, if you get married at 50, who the fuck cares?
fuck
you know?
Right.
I recently watched Phantom Thread, so it kind of plays into that. I assume you guys haven't seen it.
No, Phantom Thread.
Get the fuck out of me.
Yeah, it's a Paul Thomas Anderson movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing my catch up of his work.
Yeah.
Couch recommended it. He was like, "Oh, you'll like it," but you know, it's Daniel Day-Lewis. He plays this old dude that makes dresses, like in England or whatnot, and then he comes across this waitress lady, and he's like, we should have dinner. And they have dinner, and he makes her a dress, and it's a relationship movie, but it's a nice little fucked up, like honest kind of look at shit.
Yeah.
Because he's really comfortable with how he's living, and she's like, why aren't you married? You're handsome and you have all this stuff. And he's like, then I'd have to be I don't know, like honest and shit.
That's badass.
I think it's even harder as you. That's one of the things I think we're programmed to do is find ourselves and be comfortable with ourselves. And the farther you get on that progression by yourself, why would you need to grow with somebody else? You feel comfortable with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's harder and harder, and that's why people think, oh, well, I need to go out more, or I need to meet the right person. It's like, it's not really about the person. It's about yourself becoming comfortable with who you are.
It's like,
and
how's
not finding
that
somebody
person going to help in the process of, I guess, getting there?
It's like the complete option tree that you have. Every decision you make eliminates a path, and you're eliminating hundreds of thousands of people with every decision that you make, and you got to find somebody that wants to be on the same path.
Yo, that's it's truly correct. That we watch those after school videos where they explain, why we do marriage and stuff. And before, when we were coming out of the woods during evolution, like it made sense because the child had a better survival rate if both, it was raised by a male and a female. Now that's not the case. We live in cities. We have homes. We're protected. We don't have that.
We don't have to worry about the lion eating the baby.
It's not. We don't have that anymore.
Now it's the priest raping the baby.
Right. Yeah.
So now it comes down to like being single is more sought out, and being, you don't need it. Like most people think you need it, but you don't. And the thing is they're trying to fill the void or distract themselves from themselves and project their love or their viewpoints on that other person and try to build that person who they want to be,
Not accepting them for who they are. And what they want to do. Just what do I need from them?
Exactly.
I think there are some people too, which he and I won't say who it is, but we know a specific person who they want like a ready-made family, essentially. Like every time they get into a relationship, they're looking for not necessarily somebody who has a kid, but it's a little bit better if
I'm
you
looking
do.
for a haggard out MILF with 3 kids.
Yes, dude. Yeah.
ran through.
Hell yeah. That way I can just step in and I can be Pop, essentially. And just looking to, I think I need this. This is going to make my life better.
They can't find love within themselves, like for themselves.
They cannot focus on themselves at all.
I just bought you some yogurt. You ready to call me dad yet?
Yeah.
That's something though that we're in a committed relationship where we're completely 110% honest.
You fucking ass.
I gotta keep doing it, man. But up until recently, I thought I had it figured out. Like before the wedding and shit, like I got up to 250 pounds. I was like, look at me, and then so I lost all that, and it took me back down to my essence. And I realized like I was just using my ego as a block. Like my ego was something I leaned on. And now that I'm trying to break that down and find who I am, and it's been tough on us, dude, for like a year.
People
trying to find
see this big buff dude, they're not going to fuck with me. They're not going to ask questions.
Yeah.
They'll come up and touch my muscles for no reason, but they won't talk to me about my feelings.
But it took losing all that to try to like start breaking myself down to who I am, and do I truly love myself? And I don't think I did. I'm having trouble with it,
Well, I think it falls into a dude I work with says everything in moderation, including moderation itself. You have to have that ego to an extent, but you have to realize where it needs to stop.
Yeah.
You can't let it run it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can have a chainsaw, but don't bust it out everywhere.
You got to know when to use
Sometimes you
it.
need the ice pick.
Yeah. Right.
That's a sick way. I've heard that saying before, and I don't know where it comes from though.
I have no idea.
It is legitimately true because everything in moderation and moderation. Because I'm like full blown like drugs and anything I do, I want to just like eat it up, and that's not how you need to live.
We're
Like you'll
drug addicts.
you'll get burned out.
For sure.
But everything like the energy drinks, I drink 10 of them a day. Like
Everybody's an addict.
Yeah.
It's just
In
what's
some
your
way.
poison.
Yeah. That's
All of everything.
most of it. most of the people I talk to, like, they have something that interrupts their lives, but they don't view it as I'm an addict.
Yeah.
Like, but I think you're right. Like, we're all addicts in some sense of the term.
I mean, everybody's an addict to their cell phone.
Ooh,
That's
yeah.
I mean,
That's what
people can't live
Speak
without
my
those
language.
things anymore.
No. Fucked up.
That's what I got rid of Facebook, which I only upload it now for the videos, but it changed my mood within one day so much that I decided, like, this is what I need to do. Today, something that we pointed out, we didn't turn the TV on until after, what was it, like 3:30?
Yeah.
4, like in our work hours, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't turn the TV on, and I felt so much better. I felt like we were doing something compared to, like, oh, I'm just sitting here mindless. And then, we consumed an hour, 2 hours of TV, and then went on about the podcast.
And here we are.
I mean, having a 2-year-old and her being exposed, you can see the difference in
Yeah.
a
Oh,
day
really?
where she's sat there with a tablet or watched a TV show for more than
No
an
shit.
hour. It's like an addict.
yeah.
No
If you
shit.
try to tell her to stop or get off or go away or go do something else, she throws a fit. She needs her fix. And
Really?
that's why most days me and my wife try as much as we can to limit any kind of screen time.
Hell yeah.
We have music playing in the background, so we have some kind of electronics stimulation. But we're using toys, we're using books, we're actually getting down on the floor and playing with the child
Yeah.
instead of
What?
yeah. And then, at times, I'll admit, I gotta fucking go do the dishes. Here, watch the tablet for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a great method, though.
I
It
need-
happens.
Yeah.
It's a great method.
How do you talk to her?
Like too much of an adult,
Philosophically?
probably.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was hoping.
The way I've tried to approach it, and I'm not perfect by any means, and I'm no stellar fucking dad.
Oh, come on.
But,
Dad of the year.
Yeah, Dad of the Year.
You heard that, Chloe.
Yeah. Donnie Taylor, number
the
one
way I-
dad.
Oh, no. Donnie Taylor's terrible, Dad.
The way I approach it is I talk to her like, if she doesn't know what I'm saying, she'll be able to hear it, and maybe hopefully it'll spark an inquisitive thing to where she'll ask.
Yeah.
So I'll use words that she doesn't know, and a big thing that I've always been pushing in our house, partly because of who lives in our house, is
Fucking pets.
the basic, the please, the thank you,
Yeah.
the yes, dada, yes, mama, not what,
Yeah.
not
Nice.
what do you want,
About
that-
time.
And I mean, I hate being that much of an old school 50s guy where you need to address people proper, but I feel like you at least have to start there. You
Yeah,
don't
it's
have to
definitely
Give them a
good.
base.
that
Yeah.
your life doesn't have to stay that way, but you're going to know if you need to do it, how
Yeah.
to do it.
Hell
You
yes.
can break the rules if you know them, but to not know them is just...
Yeah.
Yeah, you have no chance at that point.
And then, I'll try to use any tool that I myself can use to help her, like we've used music a lot to help, with the alphabet, with there's a bunch of videos online that are a little dangerous, but at the same time can help her like brush her teeth. Do those menial
Wait,
tasks
what
that you
makes
don't think
them
about.
dangerous? Go into that. Like, give me a taste.
With
A taste of the danger.
with
That's
the
all I need.
with the air quote YouTube culture,
Yeah.
it goes into that Vine video 10-second attention span
Yeah.
Okay.
to where she's watching this show and she can't concentrate on it. Like
Yeah.
I told you, we took her to a movie recently for the first time. It was New Year's Eve, I believe.
Yeah.
And she made it until her popcorn was gone. And then she wanted to get up. She wanted to run around. She was like, "Well, this movie's fine, but I don't care about it anymore."
Yeah.
And I mean, she's 2.
Right.
It happens.
It's to
But
be expected.
I feel a lot of kids that age or younger, or maybe just a little bit older, wouldn't even make it that long.
Yeah.
It'd be like 10 seconds and be
Yeah.
like, I need my cell phone. Give me my tablet.
So did you kind of tense up during that moment, or were you like, fuck the people in the theater? This is my goddamn kid.
Well, it was
You're better
Frozen.
than all them.
It was Frozen 2 at 10 a.m. It wasn't opening weekend, so I was like, she's not making too much noise, and if she would have, I would have left and taken her out into the hall. But you're going to a Disney movie, expect a little noise from kids.
Right.
You know?
Fair
It's gonna
enough.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, if you take her to Bill and Ted 3, like, are you
Well,
gonna
I
allow that
wouldn't.
shit?
I wouldn't.
What do you mean you wouldn't? Because she hasn't seen the first two.
I warned my... Exactly. You can't go into a third one without seeing the first two. That's just rude.
It's too much.
That's no, it's a good way to raise the child. Which that's what I told her. I said the only reason I would want a kid is to watch the development through all stages, and try to give the kid as much as humanly possible. As far as what I didn't get as a child, I would nurture the things that they're attracted to. Like I was attracted to drums, but my family, pushed guitar on me, which I'm glad they did. I'm glad I learned something, or I would have learned nothing. But I would nurture the things that they're into, even if they were off the fucking wall. It had nothing to do with school or anything. I would nurture whatever they had to offer to the world. But I would love to see that development, and give them the tools and watch it just, grow. It'd be fun.
One concern I have about, though, is that you never know where that actual interest sparks.
Really?
Like, your interest in the drums may not have been purely musical. You
Yeah.
could have been running down the hallway or the room and you hit something that's made a cool sound and you're like, fuck yeah. I'm going to keep fucking hitting that.
Yeah.
And then, you're somebody comes in, they're like, you're banging on the fucking wall. Stop it.
Yeah.
But, that sparked your interest. And you don't want to suppress that. But at the same time, you're like, you're going to break the wall.
Yeah. You want to give them too much freedom.
Here,
with
bang
it.
on this instead.
So it's kind of like that moderation thing where you got to try to figure out, is this kid being a destructive asshole?
Yeah.
Right.
Or is something starting?
Is he the next Einstein or Neil
so
Peart?
It's a no-win situation, I guess, kind of, but not
I
really.
can see that. They
Indeed.
But that's the only reason that I truly would want to have a kid. All the other things with it, I'm too selfish, and I know that I'm too much of a drug addict, too much, self-centered, and in our relationship, too self-centered to be like, add a kid to this, and then give my attention to the kid.
it's
But
gonna be
I'm-
great.
Yeah, I'm okay enough to I can admit that where most people don't, and then they raise a terrible child, and it's like, well, that's what happens when you shouldn't have had a kid.
If you have the self-awareness to realize that you're too selfish, you're fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Damn it, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Say we're gonna have a kid, yo.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
No.
42 times.
Cool.
Fuck that. Oh, I wanted to tell you real quick, consciousness or contagiousness is a word.
Smart.
Yeah. And everything in moderation, even moderation, is an Oscar Wilde quote.
There you go, Oscar Wilde.
There you
Thank
go,
you for
people.
Yeah, let's
that.
believe
You're
that
welcome.
degenerate.
Again, we want to thank our guest, Danny Tyler,
Yeah, yeah.
or I
Wild
say right. I
ants.
keep wanting to call him Donnie. Taylor.
Yes.
He keeps messing me up.
He's a man of many
We'll
names.
introduce that persona at a later date.
That'll be the next one. Bring Donnie
Oh,
on.
we're having Donnie on the podcast.
Next podcast is gonna be Donnie Taylor.
Taylor.
Fuck. But no, we appreciate you coming and giving us your time and
Dropping wisdom and shit.
being a part of number 42. 42. Ian, as always, fuck you. So,
Right? Yeah.
no, man, that's another episode of Wildly Uninteresting Podcast.
Yeah,
Like, share, post, do whatever the fuck they do on the internet, or nothing at all because you're an
Or
asshole.
nothing. Yeah.
Either way.
Hey, but
But,
watch it. Watch it.
But watch
Listen
it.
to us.
Just
Come on.
watch it. Let it
Just-
play in the background just for a little bit.
Just let it seep into your brain.
No, thank you for listening. That was another episode of
Skibbity bop 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 bop.
Wildly uninteresting.
Scatting.
Still good.